Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for the perfect grace, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that is here for each of us and all of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for all the goodness and all the grace that is here right now. We thank you for the incredible and pervasive healing that is here for us right now, for us as we sit and experience right now and share right now, for us in the past, for us in our ancestry, for us in our past lives, for us in every single moment of our lives as children, as infants, as teenagers, as young adults, as we are right now. We celebrate the perfect healing that is here, the perfect flow of positive energy, the perfect flow of blood and oxygen in our systems. We celebrate we celebrate the highest possible good being present right now. We celebrate the flow of good news. We celebrate the flow of miracles. We celebrate the flow of restoration, rejuvenation, and relaxation in every single cell in our bodies. We celebrate the flow of positive energy in our environments right now. We welcome the highest possible good for us right now. If we could just very simply just breathe in and notice the color red, perhaps the most beautiful red to your eye, to your taste, just noticing this really lovely, lovely red, perhaps a velvet red, like a royal red. If we could just breathe into red and letting any red that is misplaced, whatever that means to you, to come back to order, to let the red that is your blood be considered royalty, to be considered with incredible gratitude and appreciation, and just feeling our hearts being appreciated, and us taking a moment with breath to appreciate our hearts and their dutiful beating, their service for us, their wonderful instinct continuing. And so we'll notice this royal red being like a sponge and letting the highest possible good, letting everything connected to that royal red be touched by it, be refreshed, like refreshing an inkwell, letting everything be vibrant, your heart being vibrant, your nerves being vibrant, not overcharged, but vibrant, letting your tendons, your ligaments, your nerves, your tissue, your bones, your teeth, your blood once again, your hair, your senses, letting everything be touched with this royal red. Wonderful. And if we could notice Archangel Ariel leading the way here, along with goddesses primarily, if we could just notice them like they were, like there was a really lovely well of red paint, if we could notice them dipping their hands in the red and with elegance, not with sloppiness, with elegance, with choice, them very simply painting parts of you with that royal red. And we'll notice your body absorbing that red. A little bit like iodine without the stain, they're saying. So if we could just notice the healthy application of red onto your body, onto your being, onto your soul. And if we could, their Ariel's coming back to the wording around the vibrancy of that red. So if we could feel the vibrancy of the red boosting your immune system, boosting your brain, boosting your faith, boosting the incredible goodness that is here. Wonderful. So if we could let all that happen, if we could feel, whether you're wearing clothes or not, in your non-physical self, we could feel lovely goddesses like Freya applying that red color, that royal red, to each vertebrae and also to the space between each vertebrae in your spine, like a blessing, like a massage, like a chiropractic adjustment. If we could just notice that very delicate, very specific touch and that application of the red. So we'll just breathe into all that. And Ariel's asking that we notice, and this will be individual for each of us, what it means to you for all these touches to be so specific. So not like the Jackson Pollock splatter or a big brush covering as much surface as possible. Very deliberate, very specific touch, very specific application of the red, and all that being perfect for you. Like if they were painting your portrait, like putting on the perfect freckle. So we'll just breathe into all that. And indeed, if we can notice Freya, goddess who helps with courage and nurturing, if we can notice Freya breathing with you, and her instantly to the core understanding what your day has been like. If it's been a day of despair, she understands. If it's been a day of negotiation or figuring things out, she understands. If it's been a day of hard work, she understands. If it's been a day of peace and flow, she understands. So if we could just breathe in to Freya's understanding of who you are and your experience. And if we could breathe in to every guide imaginable being with you and providing a circumference of safety around you. So if we could just breathe into that, and if we can notice, let's say there's 1,000 angels creating a 20-foot wide circle around you. There's another 1,000 angels or 2,000 angels creating a 100-foot circle around you. And on and on and on, ring after ring, thousands of guides, creating circles of protection, a circumference of safety. So if we could just breathe in, let's notice whether or not safety is on your mind or even a consideration of this moment. Let's just notice the impact, the effect of you being protected by archangels, by guides that you know by name, by goddesses you know by name. Just notice that you are safe, and it's safe for you to be attended to. It's safe for there to be a liberal application of this royal red, and for great care to be right here. And if we could just gently notice, perhaps with your energetic self, if we can notice the red itself, this royal red, acting like a guide. So if we could just breathe in and notice what the red communicates to you, perhaps through feeling, perhaps through knowing, perhaps through images or sounds or words. If we could just breathe in, just notice what the red communicates to you. Wonderful. And if we could just breathe in with gratitude. And indeed, if we could just notice the air, the atmosphere, right where you are, and indeed, if we could breathe in like it's our very first breath. And we'll notice what we spoke about in checking in. Let's notice what it's like to be a breath away from wonderful change, a breath away from miracles, a breath away from angelic help. Let's take that breath now. Simple breath. Let's breathe again like it's your first breath. Let's just notice everything perhaps getting bigger. Perhaps that's in our peripheral vision becoming more clear. Perhaps in colors and shapes becoming more vivid. Perhaps your senses, hearing, seeing everything. Just a little more clarity. If we could just continue to breathe in. And if we continue to breathe and be a breath away from change and letting that breath happen now, let's notice what it's like. So the external perhaps have shifted. Let's take that breath internal. Let's internalize that breath. And as Michael Beckwith has spoken about, we can't breathe in the past or the future. We could breathe right now. And let's trust that our being present with breath and letting good things happen, making space, being present, helps everyone and everything, including anyone we're concerned about. So let's indeed breathe for ourselves with our own lungs. And let's very simply breathe and just be present and feel our bodies rejoicing with those actions and those choices. And let's listen to the air. Let's listen to the conversation between the oxygen going into your body and your lungs. And let's notice, like a ripple in a pond, let's notice waves of good emanating from you, waves of good emanating to you. The goodness that is inherently present on the planet, in nature, on the earth, in the earth, coming to you. And we'll notice this wonderful marriage of you being alive and on the planet and paying attention to the planet, and you being alive and adding to the goodness of the planet with your peace of mind, with your willingness, with your requests for help and for allowing life to get better, our openness, our care, our consideration, that we're here, and we're here because we have hope and we welcome more hope. We are here because we have experience with things getting better. We might, in this moment, be reminded of that and allow that even more. That we welcome good news, we welcome the miracles, we welcome the invitations, we welcome the opportunities, we welcome the phone calls, we welcome the good news, we welcome the moments of grace and the states of grace. We welcome all of this. And in this space, as the wind blows, in this wonderful space of being of awareness of oxygen, awareness of nature, awareness of conversations, awareness of energy, if we could perhaps, in whatever voice we want to use, perhaps a whisper, perhaps something different, perhaps telepathic, if we could very simply communicate to the universe out loud, thank you. And if we could very simply communicate, thank you for the highest good coming to me right now. I'm grateful to I'm grateful to contribute to the planet thriving. I'm willing to be happy. I'm willing to be even more peaceful. I'm willing. Thank you, angels, for helping me in every single part of my life. I revel in the protection being bestowed upon me right now. I'm grateful for all the guides attending to me right now. Thank you, angels and guides, for blessing everyone whom I know. Thank you, angels and guides, for blessing everyone whom I don't know. Thank you, angels and guides, for blessing all aspects of my life right now. I choose to feel good. I choose to thrive. I choose to welcome peace. Thank you. Wonderful. If we could just breathe in. Let's notice Archangel Ariel being in your face in the most positive way. Perhaps um, rather than face to face with you, but her face being perhaps on the right side of your face, her looking directly at you from very close. If we could just breathe in, we'll just notice what she communicates, perhaps right into your ear. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in and we'll lovingly say, thank you, Ariel. If we could just very simply notice um, Jesus and Joan of Arc, who often work together or have parallel examples of life, we can notice them parachuting in to the space that you are in. And if we could just notice them parachuting in, them arriving in that manner, in that fashion, and they're just communicating a very simple reminder that you live on the same planet as they did. And they're here to help out on this with this planet. They're here to help out with your life, our lives. They're here to help. And if we just feel everything being shared, and with everything being shared, we'll recognize all that is inherent in that statement, that there's plenty of good for everyone, that everyone is included, and that it's okay to share great news. It's okay to share the highest good. It's okay to share any worry and let it disperse into a space of solutions. It's okay to let positivity, angelic grace, harmony, love, kindness, generosity, charm, wit, humor. It's okay for all those energies, all those things to be shared. So if we could just lovingly breathe in, and with the whole notion of everything being shared, if we could just notice very simply um, that you are included, that you are not alone. If we could just breathe into that and notice that truth, and if we could, in the most positive way, let everything we've spoken about be present right now, but especially us listening to the air and being aware of air and oxygen. If we could let the expansiveness of that come into this moment, that we are included and that we're sharing, and that in sharing we are completely unique and we are essential. That we are part of the symphony, to paraphrase Kate Bush. She has a song called Symphony in Blue, her second album, where she was like 19 or 20, um, talking about knowing that she's needed for the symphony, that she's part of everything, and that her experience matters, her happiness matters, as does other people's happiness. So if we could just breathe in and notice this shared experience, and that with our spiritual lives, that we are being helped, that we're part of community, and that we are loved. So we'll just breathe into all of that. And with all this goodness, all this peace, all this harmony, all this joy, we could just lovingly, with our conscious adult voices, our conscious adult hearts, our conscious adults' consciousness, and our conscious adult bodies, we could just lovingly and peacefully say out loud, I'm so grateful to be helped. I'm so grateful to fully participate in my life. I'm so grateful for the highest good existing for all. Thank you, angels, goddesses, and guides. Thank you for your presence in my life. Thank you for the highest good happening. Thank you. So we'll just breathe in. We'll notice the angels 20 feet away from you, 100 feet away from you, 1,000 feet away from you, holding space, a circumference of safety surrounding you right where you are. Wonderful air, wonderful oxygen, your wonderful body being relaxed and available, long brain waves being present, great good, great help, great clarity. So we'll just breathe into all of this. And we'll notice our dexterity, our instincts at work, our understanding, what is present in this moment. And we'll just breathe in. And we'll notice all this goodness and all this grace being present right now. And we'll say to all these hundreds and thousands of guides, thank you so much. And with grace and pleasure and peace and inclusion and the wonderful sensation and action of sharing, we thank the presence of Mother, Father, God, and all the archangels and ascended masters. We thank as well the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for all this good and all this goodness right now as we celebrate and know that the highest good is here. And we're so grateful for all this help, all the presence, all the wonderful joy, and the thrill of breath. And we celebrate all this, and we indeed ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.